What if I told you that while most people think this was just another normal Caribbean meeting with handshakes and photo ops, something much bigger may be taking shape behind closed doors? What if this was not just about friendly talks between neighbors, but about who will control energy in the Caribbean for the next 20 years? What if Guyana, a country that only recently became a major oil producer, is quietly positioning itself to become the energy hub of the entire region? And what if Jamaica and Suriname are not just partners, but key pieces in a much larger regional power shift? Stay with me, because once you see how the gas deals, the bridge project, the fishing disputes, the border talks, and the timing of these meetings all connect, you may start to see a different picture. This is not just about LNG. This is not just about CARICOM unity. This may be about leverage, influence, and control. Because when energy moves, power moves. When pipelines are planned, alliances shift. And when leaders meet quietly on the sidelines of a regional summit, the real decisions are often not made in the big conference room, but in the private talks where no cameras are allowed. So the question is simple: is Guyana building regional cooperation, or is it building regional dependence? And are Jamaica and Suriname stepping into partnership, or stepping into a new energy order that could reshape the Caribbean balance forever? At the center of all this is Irfaan Ali. Over the last few years, Guyana has gone from being a small agricultural economy to one of the fastest growing oil producers in the world. That kind of growth changes how a country thinks. It changes how it negotiates. It changes how it sees its neighbors. During the 50th meeting of Caribbean Community, President Ali held direct talks with Andrew Holness of Jamaica and Jennifer Geerlings-Simons of Suriname. On the surface, the talks were about cooperation, development, and shared growth. But when you look closer, the main word that keeps coming up is energy. Guyana expects to produce surplus liquefied natural gas. That means more gas than it needs at home. And when a country has surplus energy, it needs buyers. President Ali openly said Guyana must secure off-takers in the region. That is a very important detail. An off-taker is not just a buyer. An off-taker is a long-term customer who agrees to purchase energy over time. Once a country signs that kind of deal, it ties part of its economy to the supplier. So when Guyana talks about securing regional off-takers, it is talking about locking in Caribbean countries as steady customers. That creates stability for Guyana's energy market, but it also creates dependence for the buyer. Now think about Jamaica. Jamaica imports most of its energy. Energy costs affect electricity prices, business growth, and everyday life. If Guyana becomes a reliable LNG supplier to Jamaica, that strengthens ties between the two countries. But it also means Jamaica's energy security could become linked to Guyana's production and pricing decisions. During the talks, there was mention of digitization, technology, financial services, and a new framework agreement when Holness visits Guyana. That sounds broad and cooperative, but energy is the anchor. Energy gives weight to all those other agreements. When energy flows between countries, other sectors often follow. Some observers might ask, why now? Why push so hard for regional energy integration at this moment? Globally, energy markets are unstable. Geopolitical tensions affect oil and gas prices. Large powers compete for influence in energy-rich regions. Guyana has already attracted major international oil companies, so building strong regional demand could give Guyana more negotiating strength globally. If it can say, we already supply our neighbors, that increases its importance. Then there is Suriname. Guyana and Suriname share a border and a river, the Corentyne River. They also share offshore oil potential. Talks between the two countries included energy cooperation, a second gas pipeline, agriculture, fisheries disputes, and the long-discussed Corentyne River Bridge. A bridge is not just a piece of infrastructure. A bridge increases trade, it increases movement of goods and people. It can transform border regions, but it also ties economies closer together. When you combine a bridge project with gas pipelines and energy cooperation, you are looking at physical and economic integration happening at the same time. The two leaders agreed to reconvene by the end of March to review progress. That detail matters. It shows urgency. It suggests that this is not just symbolic talk. They want reports. They want timelines. They want movement. In politics, when leaders say they will meet again soon with progress updates, it usually means something is already in motion behind the scenes. There is also the fishing license issue between Guyana and Suriname. For years, fisherfolk have faced challenges over access and licensing. Resolving that dispute removes tension along the border. Removing tension clears the way for bigger projects. When countries plan pipelines and bridges, they prefer stable borders. So solving fisheries disputes is not just about fish. It is about preparing the ground for larger integration. Energy security was highlighted as strategic for national and regional development. That language is strong. Strategic means linked to long-term survival and strength. When leaders use the word strategic about energy, they are thinking beyond today's prices. They are thinking about resilience, control, and independence from outside shocks. The two sides committed to exploring joint ventures and knowledge sharing in oil, gas, renewable energy, and electricity interconnection. Electricity interconnection means linking power grids. Once power grids are connected, energy can flow across borders. That increases efficiency, but it also creates shared dependence. Now let's step back. Why would Guyana push so strongly for regional integration right now? One possible reason is scale.